We have just attended the 2-day symposium, which was a collaboration between Shanghai Theatre Academy and Western Norway University of Applied Sciences.
Right.
And this conference was called UTFORSK. This is Sissy.
Hello.
And I'm Vaishali, and we are going to discuss what happened really, because it was my first time in Shanghai and
Welcome.
in China. Thank you.
Well, I think it has been a great symposium this time. And actually, the UTFORSK project has funded several symposiums. It was 2 symposiums in 2018 and a third one in 2019. So this time is the 4th symposium, which related to the UTFORSK project. And it's certainly a great pleasure for me as a student and a co-worker as you within the drama education and applied theatre field.
Yes.
To be able to make my contributions and then do research and contribute to inspirational conversations with international guests, including you and also Helen Nicholson and a lot of inspirational experts.
Yes. I really, the picture of the East really became much more clearer to me. In fact, I was in Italy this year, attending their first drama in education, a theatre in education conference, and they had a similar, challenge that they were facing, which is theatre and drama. That drama and drama education and theatre education is all about acting and learning the craft of performance, whereas our work is very similar when it comes to drama and education, where we look at drama as a pedagogy. How do you see these kinds of conferences aiding to the work that probably both of us are doing over here?
Well, in the Chinese context, theater and drama are, let's say linguistically, right? And in Chinese language, drama and theater shares the same concept.
Yes.
The term is named 戏剧. So basically, the term 戏剧 can cover all kind of dramatic activity, including theater and also drama literature and applied theater, and it can all fit in, including, again, Chinese traditional operas and all those international indigenous forms which can goes into this concept. Differently from English-speaking countries and then Roman-speaking countries, like in Norway, for example, drama and theater is used differently.
Yes, because in the conference, there were many speakers who did speak about theatre in education and performative theatre. Which also made I think it made a lot of sense when they talked about the process of theatre making rather than the product of the theatre piece. But do you see that there is a little shift in understanding drama better? Because in India also, drama and theatre is the same word. We call it natak. Drama is natak. Which comes from the word nat. Nat means actor.
Yeah.
So it's all about acting.
Right.
And pretending to be somebody else. It's all about the audience.
Yes, I see. Well, I got to know it now. Perfect. But very interesting.
Yes, but I mean, do you see there's a shift? Because I could sense that people are still struggling to understand drama and maybe adopt drama. It's like this child who's come and who's saying that please accept me in the family. But there's so much potential that I could see in the words of the people who were sharing their work, because they were actually doing drama in education somewhere.
Yes, and a lot of places now.
Yes.
Actually, I observe the shifts, and also through the discussions and how the feedbacks I had received for my presentations, and also discussions during the free times, and people were willing to know, to make sure if we share the same understanding of drama education.
Yes.
And then it's a negotiation
It is.
which was going on, helps us to establish this joint or common understanding with each other. And I see more and more people started to consider theater as less performative activity, because theater does not necessarily only take place within a theater building.
Yes.
Right? So it's the drama and the theater activities which reconstructs the location of theater, and then reconstructs places which are not theatrical
Yes.
into a theater place and drama place. I think this nuances and swift in understanding and in the way how they use language to describe it really reflects on the understanding, which is changing understanding.
Yes,
now.
in fact, we watched a play yesterday.
Yes.
By the fourth year students of STA, students of acting and direct.
No, they were a bachelor student in drama education.
In drama education.
Yes.
Yes. And there was a collaboration between Norwegian students and Chinese students.
Yeah.
And it was such a beautiful performance. I can't call it theater nor drama because everything was there. It was so immersive in nature. We, as audience, we could go and participate in it, as well as at the same time, other people were watching all of us who were performing on stage. And how then the story went into another play, and the play was separate, and the and the interaction was separate. It was beautiful.
Yes, I think STA is doing this kind of work for a long period of time, and they have considered it as a form of theater in education, 教育剧场. And the performance I saw yesterday, I liked it, just as you. And I also think sometimes I felt it was educational theater or TIE characteristics very obvious.
Yes.
And some part was quite conventional theater.
Yes.
So, but it's a fluid, like a scale, like we presented during the symposium.
Yes, it's like a
coming
sliding
here
scale.
and coming there. It really depends, and also depends on how the audience, how the viewer interprets it.
And somewhere I also felt that people are trying to find a balance of theater and drama, and that's exactly what we are also trying to do in India. Because both our cultures are extremely performative.
When you mentioned that, I just recalled what Cao Xi mentioned.
Yes.
He said a lot of people at the conference, at the symposium, did not was not conscious about their performative. So actually, they were quite performative.
What they were showing.
Yeah, they were showing instead of being. But and then. He gave a good example yesterday. Like there are quite a lot of performativity.
Yes.
In our culture as well.
Yes.
How you as an individual looks like the presented in front of other people and in front of a social context.
Yes.
And that's quite cultural, I think.
Symposiums like this really really push you to think really hard. In fact, we also did talk about contradictions. Like Cao Xi talked about the disconnections that we have with our body and the mind, and with the teacher and the student, the disconnect between the teacher, student, body, mind, and the society and self. And it's important to recognize these disconnections. Yes, I think. And drama can only help a child look at himself in context of the society again and again in different contexts. I think it's a rehearsal for life. Yes. Drama is you're rehearsing for life.
Yeah.
And not just for some few people to come and watch you perform and clap.
Yeah. Or it's living different lives at the same time.
Oh, yes.
Then it's really enrich your inner mind and enrich you as one
Yes.
human being.
Yes.
Not a separated mind, and not, yeah, or separated, probably, we don't know.
We don't know. It's okay.
A lot of possibilities.
Yes, exist together.
Yeah.
And I mean, the main thing that I take from this conference is the talk of creating a balance. And I think only when we create balance, only when we find the center point in the system, we can really achieve what we want to as
Yeah.
educators.
Yeah. I just recall, I hope I remembered it correctly. I learned something from my supervisor, Tor Helge, before I read Dorothy Heathcote. And he told me that Dorothy Heathcote once said, it's not about to learn the children how to choose and make the decision about out of a certain situation. That is important as well. But the most important, or the more important thing, is to let them know there are a lot of choices
Yes.
for a same situation, and that we all need to be conscious of. That there are a lot of possibilities to solve things and to answer things, and we should have an open mind. And just like there can be a lot of different ways to do drama education.
We can really give power to the individual. It could be a young child, it could be a young person, like an 18-year-old. In fact, the workshop that I did with in the first years was just amazing.
Oh, that's so great. You know, I think they are very lucky to have you on their first year. Because I felt very lucky. I met Stig, Kari, and actually Chris Cooper came to our class in the same year. That was 2009. So me and my classmates met this practice early.
Yes. And I'll just leave you with this last thing that one of the boys who had attended
Your workshop?
my workshop said, is that when he's a student of acting and direction.
Yeah.
And he was reflecting after the workshop. We sat and we were reflecting. And he said that in the beginning, I couldn't make sense of what was happening. You know, how could I contribute to this workshop as an actor? What is my role as an actor in this? He said that now, after the workshop, I realize what I can contribute as a human being.
Yeah.
And I think that is the biggest takeaway for me individually from this symposium.
Yeah. And I would actually point to the fact that that boy who considered himself as an actor, but he still, some part of him was very open to this kind of drama workshop, and he chose to participate, although he was not clear if he would be useful in that process. But he chose to do it. He was open. And then the difference came, like it made a difference. Or for this period of time, because drama education is still in its not infant stage anymore, but it still need a lot of efforts to grow and to make it happen. And I would really invite a lot of people to try it.
Please.
Yes, and give it a try. Maybe it will mean something else for you, for anyone.
Yeah, because Sissy and I are definitely dedicating the rest of our lives to this.
Yes,
we are. So because it makes sense. It made the world of a difference for me when I got introduced to it. I'm an actress. But when drama and education happened to me, I felt that I could do much bigger things for the future of the world as a drama educator. And I'm sure you feel the same. And I'm sure many of you feel the same, would feel the same, to take drama seriously.
Yes.
And to take young people seriously. Thank you, Sissy.
Thank you.